You just get in, buy, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, so hello, I'm Robert Spring. Here is Joan Cabanas. We are expats. We are living right now in Tbilisi, and we'll just talk about life and whatever we want. So feel welcome to join in and listen what we are talking about. So John, let's talk a little about you.
Yeah.
You're from Spain.
Yeah, I'm from Barcelona. I was born in Barcelona a long time ago already. It's fucking old.
Let's not talk about this.
So I was born in Barcelona, and yeah, I was like traveling.
And you are living in many places.
I lived in many countries. Yeah, I just with my family in the summer, we were always traveling. So from a very young age, we traveled all around Europe with my parents. We were doing 1 month, 3 weeks to a month vacation anywhere in Europe every summer. So there was we were going to Italy, we were going to the UK, we were going to Germany, we were going to France many times. So it was just
It was your parents, you and your sister?
Yeah, I have a sister, an older sister. So the four of us was just going around. And then when I turned 14, my parents sent me for the summer because we didn't want to travel with them anymore. Just leave me alone. I'm 14. I know everything.
Really? When you were 14?
Yeah, 14 was just nah, I don't want to travel with you guys. Wow. So they sent me to the UK to spend the summer, to practice English and everything.
When I was 14, my parents didn't let me to go when there was my friends were doing sleepovers.
Okay.
My parents didn't let me go like this, so it's a little different.
It is. Now my parents were very strict for the daily life, but they were very open in terms of go
seeing the world.
Go see the world, travel, it's positive, it's worth the financial effort we're doing. So, because my dad did that when he was younger. So he went to the UK for 2 or 3 weeks to practice English, living in a family. And he said, it's a cool experience, let's send the kid to there. And it was amazing.
Of course, if right now, seeing what I've seen and being developed as I am because of I'm traveling, I believe that every children should if it's possible should travel.
It's the best thing.
And my children for sure will travel
100%. I mean, if you can afford it, it's expensive, but if you can afford it, it's the best investment you can do in your kids. I remember being I went there for 3 or 4 years, 14, 15, 16, 17, and it was just 3 weeks.
Where were you living?
And first 2 years was in Wales, in the west.
Yeah, but you were living on your own or with
No, with a family. We were. It was a company.
Exchange, student exchange, something like this.
But not exactly. So it was a company that was organizing that. So they were picking up us in Barcelona airport. They would fly to the UK, and then we would have host families. So every single one of us was living in a family, and we would have our own room. We were living with the family. They would cook for us in the evening, and then during the day we were going to the school. There was a college. During the year, it was the English kids were there, and for the summer it was just there. And it was amazing because it was very international. So it was kids from all around the world, and all around the world, not the US, but Russians, people from Saudi, people from France, people from Spain.
Now when you're saying it, I hear your accent is a little English. It's a little have this thing. And maybe it's because of that.
Could be my early stages, but I didn't speak English like that. 1 second, zero. But it was a very nice experience. Very nice. I loved it. So that's the seeds of traveling and visiting around, and then started uni, started studying engineering. And then the relationship with my family worsened, and it was just a nightmare.
Uni in Barcelona?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I studied at SAPE, the engineering, the Central Engineering University for for Barcelona, for like Catalonia, my region. And then in the second year, I said like, I found the opportunity that I could go to France to do a double degree. I was just like, I am going to apply like 5, just like leaving, ciao. And I moved to France, and it was just like, it was very good. So I was living in France for 2 years. And then from France, I went to Australia.
No. Just don't skip like 5 years of your life like this.
Okay.
So let's talk first about Barcelona. How was it? Like, what was it like? You were only studying and that's it, or what was your life like?
I mean, my life was pretty boring because, as I said at the beginning, like my family was just like, my mom specifically was just like mega strict in everything.
So there was no partying, no nothing.
Zero partying. I started to party when I moved to France, 2001.
Okay. So
Like,
let's go to France now.
That's where, yeah.
How was it?
No, life in Barcelona is like,
So you're speaking French, right?
I speak French, yeah. I speak fluent French.
How many languages do you speak?
I mean, like fluent 6, then I speak German, which is the 7th. Like B1, so it's like for basic communication, it's okay. I couldn't have a podcast in German.
Best ones, like you could talk with me right now, what would it be? English, Spanish?
Catalan's my native language. So Catalan, Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, and English. That's completely fluent.
Okay.
And then German, medium. And I have some basic knowledge in Russian. Basic knowledge means I can read the alphabet, like I can read the Russian.
Cyrillic, it's called?
Cyrillic, yeah. Cyrillic. And then if you drop me in the middle of Moscow, I can make my way. I can go to restaurants, I can ask for directions, I can say that I'm from Barcelona and I'm fucking lost. So, but it's like very basic, like basic stuff.
Okay. So, but still, it's amazing, and I think it has to be like, because you traveled a lot, you had this love for.
I think it's like
for different cultures.
It's a skill set, so it's like for me it's natural. It's a skill set. I remember, so I learned Italian with my girlfriend Laura back in 2005. We met at my second year in France. We started dating, and then her French was horrible. I was just like, hey, let's do one thing. Like, you're speaking Italian, I'm gonna pick it up, don't worry. And we started dating in October, and it was funny because like in February, we went to Italy together we had a break for like 1 week or 10 days, went to Italy together, and went to the restaurant, and I was talking, and then the guy at the restaurant asked Laura, ma tu non sei italiana, vero? And she got super mad. So, after 3 months with her, I was completely fluent.
What does it mean?
Ma tu non sei italiana, it's like, you're not Italian. The servers told her, not me.
Oh, wow.
She was super pissed off, like, ma che cazzo, ma come non sono italiana, ma minchia, ma che stai dicendo, no?
But how did you learn Italian?
I was just like...
listening?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah. Just like Laura was talking to me in Italian, and I was speaking the language like that. And in 3 months, it was just...
How similar are Spanish and Italian?
I would say as Polish and Russian. It's the same.
Russian or Ukrainian? Because Russian is like...
Maybe Ukrainian. It's the same family.
So similar words.
Similar words, similar grammar.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know, for example, in Catalan, my language, taula. In Italian, tavolo. So it's like, there's a lot of similar words. And also, by that time, I was speaking already fluently, like Catalan, Spanish, French, and I was speaking Portuguese because in the first year of France, I got like a girlfriend from Brazil. So I learned Portuguese with her.
The same way?
The same way. Yeah, because like we were speaking French, like her French was very good. And my French was like quite good too. And at some point I said like...
But did you study like in any way? Like
Zero.
Just... No way.
Zero. No, just... No, because for example, the first year with Marcela, I like, it was like the Brazilian gang. It was like, I don't know, like 10 or 15 people. So I was hanging out with them a lot. So it's like, was starting to get used to the language. And at some point, I remember in February, we were having dinner in a restaurant. I was like, I remember like it was today. And I told her, hey, what do you think if we just like get rid of the fucking French and we just get into like Portuguese, and because Catalan, like it's very minority language, so it was just like, do you want to learn Catalan? Like zero interest. So it was, sorry,
No, you can touch it.
and it was like they start speaking to me in Portuguese, and like slowly, and like after I don't know, like after a month or a month and a half, we were speaking already in Portuguese.
We need to do that with Spanish. But I think I need to be on the level that you understand like
That's it.
at least 30-40%. And then you can pick up more.
I mean, I did that with German too. Like the German I speak, I came to Germany. It's a skill set. It's like there's nothing, it's just by listening, I already figure out like the grammar, how it works. And it's just like, I came to Germany, I lived in Germany for a year because I did my master thesis there in engineering. And when I came there, it's just like, I just knew Kartoffel and beer.
Kartoffel.
Kartoffel is like potato, right?
Yeah.
And in a year, I picked it up a little bit, not fluent, because like German is like much more harder, right? So Italian, Portuguese, if you speak Catalan, Spanish, French, you can pick up Portuguese and Italian in a couple of months. But German is a completely different thing. So it's like at the beginning you don't understand. She was like,
You need to have these fundamentals. I don't have it yet, so I need to build this.
Yeah.
I think Spanish, then maybe French, and go on. Okay, so let's go back to your time in France, because I think it was pretty interesting.
Oh, it was very nice.
Tell me, how was it? What were you doing? How was like studying? Was it like, did you study? Studying was your main thing, or maybe like partying, or
no, partying nonstop. But
so what was?
I didn't study much. So I was there in a double degree engineering because now I have both degrees. I am an engineer by École Centrale de Nantes and an engineer by the Barcelona. And it was just like, I didn't give much a fuck about this study. So, because for me it was the new freedom, away from my parents, away from my family, away from everything. It's like, let's do it. Mm-hmm. And
for me, my first, because I dropped out twice from university, but first time I went to university, it was, I had to work, but it was crazy. Every opportunity you had for to drink or to go out, you just did it. And in Poland, you know how it was, just getting fucked up as much as you can. That's it.
It is like that. It is like that when you go to Erasmus. It's crazy. So, being there without your parents, and I am very open, right? So it's like I made friends very easy, and then I started dating this Brazilian girl, which was the most beautiful girl in the uni, in campus. So we're going out a lot. It was just party nonstop. So, and
did you work at the time?
No, my father was paying me everything. Mm-hmm. So my father was supporting me. He was sending money every month. So it was just that was good. With that was good. So I didn't have to work. I didn't have to worry. My father was giving me a transfer monthly, and it's more than enough. So. Yeah, the first year was interesting because there was this le bureau des arts. Il y avait le bureau des étudiants et le bureau des arts. Bureau, it's office, the office of arts. Mm-hmm. So it was this student organization that was taking care of the artistic life in campus. And guess who was the responsible for the parties?
I guess you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I was the party guy from campus, and I was responsible for the parties. So I was organizing the student parties with the nightclubs and everything. So it was really interesting.
So you were making reservation for nightclubs?
The deals and the prices. I was negotiating the prices, the deals, everything. So that was really interesting. Because first I was going to all parties for free. That was good. I'm not going to pay the party I'm organizing. Fuck it. And it was good. Yeah,
and there was this status probably of somebody who is organizing all of this.
Exactly. So it was good. Joan, everybody knew me in the campus. So that was a lot like that.
So what substances did you try at the time? Alcohol, of course.
Alcohol, no, at that time was like pretty easy. I was just smoking pot, and that's it. Like pot, a lot of marijuana, and then like alcohol, and that's it. It was just pretty easy. Like heavy stuff came later in my life.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, France was very interesting. What that was the first year I was in the students' hall. I was living in a very tiny room, like 4 square meters, single bed, like little table like that. So it was pretty like, I was spending 80 euros a month.
But when you are young like that, you don't
You
care.
don't give a shit.
Like,
It was good. I mean, it was a downgrade from my house in Barcelona. I was just like, but I didn't care. I was like, my mom is not around. Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, and then there was the first year. It was good. Traveled. We went to Greece with Marcela. Went to Greece together. Went to Amsterdam. Went to Portugal, and it was good. And after we broke up because of like whatever, anyways. And the second year started dating Laura, which was probably the biggest love of my life. And so
why is that?
Boof. Long story. I don't know. Laura was
Are you over it or not really?
Yeah, 100%. Like it was 20 years ago. It was like one thing is.
So it was the most intense like relationship you had.
I wouldn't say like I don't know about intense, but it was just like I don't know, like we matched a lot, and we had the kind of connection that it's like it's difficult replicating, or it's difficult to find it again. So I don't know. We were not just partners; we were friends. And like we were making fun of each other, and yeah. So it was nice. It was good. So second year was like Laura was around, and I was renting a flat with Mariana. Mariana was a girl from El Salvador. We met in the first year, and then in the second year we moved together into an apartment. And it was like much better because like we were doing house parties, and like warming up in the house after going out. So it was 2 years like a lot of socializing and a lot of discovering life other than the boring things, The studies were shit, so we had because French
and you had this because you're saying about socializing. Did you had it like was it natural for you or more like?
I mean, I discovered myself. Because like when I was back in Barcelona or like when I was a kid at school, I didn't have friends. Nobody liked me. I was like pretty lonely, I would say. Yeah, pretty lonely. So I didn't have friends. Nobody liked me. I had a lot of problems socializing. People generally didn't like to hang out with me. And afterwards, I understood that this was because of all the pressure of my family and all the shit. Going to France. I was financially good because my father was giving me a shit ton of money every month. And like no WhatsApp, man. It was 2004, there was no WhatsApp, there was no phone calls.
So you were only focusing on that.
It was just like fantastic. So I discovered myself. I discovered that I was a cool guy. I discovered like that I was like people acting normal, people were liking me. And I started to have a bunch of friends and all the girls liked me too. It was just like, yeah, that's like a fantastic thing. So it was a discovery. Like I discovered myself. It's just like, wow.
So you felt like something is not right when you were like just lonely and no friends, and so you felt it like there is something not right, that you need to change something, or was it like you on the way you found out about?
It was a process. Okay. So when you're 14 or 15, you don't understand shit. Like you're just a kid that's lonely and has just like one friend,
How old were you when you left to France?
21.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're just starting to understand what's going on.
Exactly. Exactly. That was a big change. That was a big change. In terms of studies, pretty bad. So there's in France they like it a lot, like to classify. So there was a ranking of the students, right? And so I made the record. So I was like in the first year, I think I was like the 20th from the bottom. So like really bad. And then on the third year, I think it was the third from the bottom. Like I didn't give a shit. like, you know, like I didn't care.
But they let you go through it.
Yeah, I had to repeat like 2 exams after like, yeah, had to repeat 2 exams, like, I don't know, systems of I don't know what. And I repeated the exams that gave me the degree. But it's like,
You doesn't seem to me like a person like the person who would enjoy sitting at books and just reading
Zero.
it and studying. You're
Zero.
more like open, like you want to be
Yeah.
with people. And
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah, engineering was not my thing. I mean, like, I studied engineering because of my family, because I was good at math, I was good at physics, I was good at chemistry, you know.
But there is this thing that if you, like, there is this curiosity you have, like everybody has. When you're a child, and then you have this curiosity. And then when you go through education system, I think that it kills it in you. Like, because you have to do this test and you stop looking for something interesting, like to discover something. You just
I mean, like, the educational
you just
system,
need to study and you forget it. And
yeah, you just have to pass the test.
Yeah.
And yeah, the educational system is designed to create idiots. So, but I mean, it was good. Like, so the engineering masters, it's interesting. So you learn a lot of things. Completely useless for the daily life, but you know, like the resistance or something. It's like it's completely useless if you don't want to become an engineer, like technically, like doing calculations and stuff. If you don't want to do that, which was my case, like didn't give a shit. It's completely useless, but it's very interesting. Like you learn things that are very, very nice and very interesting. I don't know. Then after France, I moved to Australia for 6 months, 7, 9, I don't know. And I went to do a research project on solar energy and photovoltaics. Photovoltaics, you know, like converting solar energy into electricity. So like this is something. It was very interesting at the time. Like understanding, like the
What
technology.
year was it?
It was a research project on the Center for Sustainable Energies in the Australian National University in Canberra.
What year?
2006.
Wow.
Yeah, 2006.
If you, I don't want to like make you feel bad, but if you would go with it at that time,
Yeah.
you would be fucking rich.
Yeah.
Because there was a start.
Yep.
At that time. Wow.
I think it was a shame because like I liked Australia a lot. It's like it's a fantastic country. I had a very good time, and I had the supervisor for the project that like Keith McIntosh, very nice guy, like just thinking out of the box, and like well he liked my way of working and my way of thinking, and they offered me a position in the center. They said like, hey, do you want to stay? Like we're gonna pay you a salary and everything. But I was missing my 5th year of university, right? And I rejected, said like, no, I'm not gonna stay. And then went back to Barcelona, finished my 5th year, and then from Barcelona went to Peru, and from Peru, Germany. So it's like, but yeah, I don't know. I always think about it, like what would have been if I had stayed in Australia over there with kids.
Are you drawn still?
Sorry?
Are you drawn still to be there?
What do you mean drawn?
Like, do you feel like you want to go there?
No, now after 20 years,
Yeah.
no, it's just like that's over. It's like, you know, it's adds an opportunity that's like was 20, as a student I was 23 or something, you know. So, but Australia's really nice. Australia's fantastic. I went back to Australia 2016 for Christmas,
A
and
bunch of outlaws, from what I heard.
a bunch of
Bunch of outlaws.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting country. It's very nice. It's a place to go once in life. You know, at least once in your life, you gotta go to Australia. So, like, really happy that I went there. Like, lived there for like 9 months. We did all the East Coast with Laura. She came from Italy to Australia, and we just had like a month of traveling. You know, went to Melbourne, then up to Brisbane, rented a car, all the East Coast. And it's a fantastic country, like super recommend. It's expensive. Now with inflation and everything, it's expensive place.
Let's make a break. I will take some apple juice.
Okay.
Where were we?
We were in 2006 in Australia. We're in 2006 in Australia. I don't know, it was just like, I wasn't gonna go into detail. After Australia, I went back to Barcelona, then went to Peru.
Is it good, apple juice?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like from organic apples.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say about this apple juice?
I would say that apples are good.
No. Like we know. Like, tell me about what is it? What do you feel in there and the taste and?
It's impossible with this kind of glasses. No.
Ah, okay.
It's just good.
It's just simple, right?
It's good. It's very basic. It's very basic. It's very like flat.
There could be like how do you say it? Chapter on the podcast or like where we just talk about wine, like about apple juice. I mean, of course.
Certo. No, the apples are good.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting topic. It's a very interesting. I like
because you're like you have courses for sommelier.
Yeah, I did some stuff. It's I mean, my father likes wine a lot and apple juice, and so I started drinking pretty young. Yeah.
How young? You can.
Yeah. Now, like apple juice, around like 15, something like that, with my dad and everything, and then yeah, it's something I like a lot.
But in Spanish, it's like it's normal, right?
It's very normal. So it's in the culture, like drinking culture. It's
every time you eat dinner or something, do you drink wine or no?
No. I stay sober during the week.
No, I mean in Spain.
Yeah, in Spain the same. So
okay.
There's people that drink like daily. I don't. I did that in the past, like when my late 20s, was drinking every day. But it's like I am a person that has no limits. So I don't know how to limit myself. So it's just like
addictive personality.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, I have this too.
Extremely addictive. Like if something is addictive, like I'm going to double down on it.
I read yesterday this quote from Carl Gustav Jung, and he said, "Addiction is low-level seeking for God."
Wow. Okay.
Low-level seeking for God, and it's still in my mind, and I try to uncover it. Yeah, for God.
It's a low-level seeking for God. Yeah. I don't know how to.
I'm not sure what he meant by that, but I think there is something there. I feel like it's something there.
There has to be. It's the. I mean, generally, like we are addictive personalities. It's like, it's a lot. So, I am a person that, and you too, I need stimulus in my life.
Yeah.
You know, like otherwise, like fucking boring. That's why I lived in like 55 countries. You know, it's like I get bored easy. Like, I want to move out from Georgia. Fuck it, I'm going somewhere else because it's boring already.
That's the point, maybe, because I have the same thing.
Exactly.
Like I am easily bored. I want to change something every 2 months.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the point. Like we don't see this depth in day-to-day life.
You need stimulus. It's like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, I don't know, I smoke cigarettes. I don't know if I would say like I am addicted to alcohol because like I can stay sober for a week, like during the week. When I was,
I love when somebody is saying like,
It's
I
like-
can stay sober.
I can stay sober. Like I can stay
It's
sober.
a little like maybe there is something there.
No, I mean, I drink a
I'm
lot.
not saying you are addicted.
I drink a
I'm
lot.
not saying that. But maybe if you're saying like I can stay sober, it might be something there.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, we did it like when we were in Asia with my ex. We cut alcohol completely because I was mega fat. It's like I couldn't put my like summer clothes, you know, like, and I didn't want to buy new ones because like I don't like to spend money on shit. So it's like, okay, we're gonna make a diet. So we did like 3 months in Thailand, you know, like, can you imagine fucking Thailand? And it's like going to the night bar, getting fucking coconut, which is like, but we did it for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was good. It was actually good. It was feeling good, but it was boring at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So my ex and I, we liked a lot like the same things, like drinking, wine, going out, like the pleasures of life.
For me, with alcohol, when I was like, I first time I had a drink, it was like I was 17, I think.
Okay.
And
Relate.
after that, it went
Boom.
all in.
Bueno.
Every time with friends was like drinking heavily. And then when I was, I think, 20, I went to camp before university with future students. And drinking was so heavy. Like you can't imagine. I was not getting sober for 3 or 4 days.
Fuck.
And after these 3 or 4 days, I started to become sober. And I was delirious. Yes. Like, I don't know if you had anything like this, but I was not sleeping. I was aware what was going on, and like I seen spiders going on my face, and these spiders were changing faces.
Jesus.
I had hallucinations.
Oh my God, with alcohol?
Yes.
I want to try this
After
alcohol.
3 or 4 days of drinking non-stop.
Okay, fuck.
Uh,
I mean, I had that with other kind of.
and I
substances.
was seeing faces on these spiders, and it was so bad. It was so bad
Jesus Christ.
that it changed my attitude to alcohol.
Yeah. Okay. I've never had that.
And I don't have problem with alcohol
No,
at
you're
all.
good. You're good.
At all. Like
You're good.
I can, if like I like to drink with you because
Sure.
it's a good time. We're drinking slowly and we're talking and so on. But if I'm not meeting with anybody, I am not going to drink like at all.
Yeah, same. But it's like this is something that is very interesting, and it's about like the drinking culture. And we have spoken about that many times, but I think it's interesting now that we are here.
Yeah.
Like the drinking culture in the south, in the Mediterranean area, it's completely different from when you start getting north. So the northern you go, the more crazy things get. And it's like, so I have never in my life, let's drink to get wasted. It just doesn't happen. Like Spain, and if you talk to Spanish people, Italians.
Let's tell me how it looks like with this aperitif, and what's the culture like? Like what looks like Sunday, what look like?
Exactly. So we drink less heavy than you guys, but we drink for a longer time, right? So there's this cultural thing in Spain that is called aperitivo, and you can do it Saturday or Sunday, and it's you hang out, and you can do it that's the beautiful thing. You can do it with your girlfriend, you can do it with your family, you can do it with your friends. Like it's like anybody, right? Any kind of company. And we just like hang out, like usually in a terrace outside because Spain is warm and everything. So like you hang out around like between 12 and 1 p.m., something like that. And then you start drinking. Aperitivo is also different depending on the region of Spain. I am from Catalonia. So it's like we are not that into tapas that heavy than, for example, Andalusia or Basque Country. It's just a little bit different. But we just like get like some beers or some wine, depends on their preferences. Usually it's beer or vermouth. It's also like vermouth, martini, but like good quality, like this martini or Cinzano shit. And we just like hang out, like we would just like have a couple of beers, like 1, 2, 3. We just like eat some like little stuff, like aceitunas, like olives or chips.
Before
potatoes.
you eat,
Yeah.
you're drinking. Yeah.
Exactly. So we start drinking. So maybe you have a patatas bravas, a little bit. You have patatas bravas, croquetas, y olivas. Just like, like 3 the south and then around, and then you do drink like 1 or 2 or 3 beers. And then you go for lunch. And then you order a beer for waiting time, and then you drink wine with the lunch time. You drink like, usually like the normal rates, like 1 bottle every 2 people. Depends on how many you are. You order, it's a bottle every 2 people. So then you have...
That's sensible.
It's okay. Yeah. And then when you get out of lunch, you go for gin tonic. You sit in another terrace outside of the restaurant, and then you drink gin tonic or or a beer, and then you have a gin tonic or beer again, or another, I don't know, cava or champagne, whatever you want, and then you spend the afternoon drinking with your friends, with the family.
So it's just whole day.
It's the whole day, and then sometimes you can like we say empalmar, just like continue, like then you go for dinner, and continue drinking with the dinner.
For me, it was
It's like that.
surprising the thing that the aperitivo that you don't eat before it.
No, exactly.
Because in Poland, like there is the rule you have to eat before drinking.
Because you're heavy drinkers.
Yes, but
Exactly.
we drink vodka.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
like
Fuck.
you would die
Exactly.
if you would not eat.
That's the thing. So we don't drink like heavy stuff. In Spain is very, very uncommon. I mean, like one thing is in a nightclub. If you go like 3 a.m. in the morning, you're not gonna order a glass of wine. Fuck it. It's just like let's go for tequila. Let's go for vodka, like something stronger. But it's not like that. So the drinking culture, it's more like let's drink like softer stuff, a lot of beer, a lot of wine, but we drink for a longer time, and it's very, very rare to see people wasted. It just doesn't happen because we start at a very young age, and it's very common. So we get used to it, and you can actually drink a lot, like a lot. So if it's
I want to test it.
I can drink.
When you will come to Poland,
No, then I'm fucked. I'm fucked.
we will take a vodka and you will
No,
see.
completely bad. So I can drink a lot, like wine and beer and champagne and gin tonic is what I'm used to, and I can go on for hours. Like you're not gonna smash me down. But if you give me, for example, here in Georgia, the cha-cha, no, ciao. I get 2 shots over. So
Really?
yeah, really bad. So you can come to Poland to you, and you give me vodka, I'm gonna be fucked up.
I will teach you how to do it.
Okay.
Because the main thing is that you have to eat, and you have to eat fat.
But it absorb.
The fatter you eat, the better. And like I always got too wasted
Okay.
on like. What is it called? Like when people get married
Wedding.
at weddings. Yeah. I
Yeah.
always got too wasted. And one time I heard that you should get a spoon of olive oil and just before you're drinking, like just go like take it. And that was I was drinking. Everybody was asking like let's go, let's drink. I was never saying no, and the whole night I was good.
Okay.
So
Interesting. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
That's a good tip.
And for hangover, the best tip is just to like whole lemon
Okay.
and put it in the glass,
Okay.
drink it, and then you drink a liter of water and you are good.
Okay.
Like you are not going to have hangover.
Okay.
Have you tried it?
I mean, like when I have hangover, I usually drink more. Because like hangover is let's get a beer, let's get a glass of wine,
Okay.
and it gets awake. It's
That
like
works
you know.
too.
But I used to not. Like usually, I drink like before going to bed. I drink like at least a liter of water, at least.
Yeah.
And then when we wake up again, like
Yeah.
at least. But yeah. But the drinking culture is it's a very interesting thing because I don't know, like. So the vodka it's not tasty.
It's terrible.
It's
but
not tasty. It's
what's
like,
interesting
what's the point?
is I from what I see, it depends on the climate.
Certo,
So
of course.
so if you go south,
Certo.
it's like just drinking easy, like you're.
But you cannot like. It's
And
40 degrees
the
outside.
further north you go, the alcohols are getting stronger.
Exactly.
Like, have you seen the videos of people like older people in Finland? Like they are drinking like the amount of vodka. Like they are. Like there is this guy who is drinking vodka, like half a liter.
Yeah.
And then jumping to cold water like ice.
Fuck.
Yeah. And that's he was very popular few years ago.
It's very crazy, and it affects. I remember, like my experiences with vodka. I had a Russian girlfriend, couple. One of the like the first one I went to Moscow to visit her, and then we went to her house. It was in the Moscow plateau, like around, like I don't know, like 150 kilometers away from Moscow. She was living with her mom, and like we did the barbecue, and then it was like the brother and everybody, and they brought like this like homemade vodka. Jesus Christ!
It was like it's called bimber in Poland.
I don't know. I can't remember the name.
It's stronger than vodka.
It's a it was just like brown shit.
Yes.
It was very tasty.
Bimber, yeah.
It was good. I was just like, you know, couldn't reject, couldn't say no. I was I was at their house. I was like the boyfriend of like the girl, you know, like the first.
Of course.
You know, it's just like,
You
yeah,
can't.
fuck, man. I was really wasted. Like, and Svetlana was just like, are you okay? Because she knew me, like we dated for already some time, and she knew that, you know, I could drink alcohol, but like beer and wine. When you gave me all this stuff, it's like.
And what happened?
I got completely fucked and like had to go to bed.
Do you remember everything, or was it like?
I mean, that was a long time ago, but I remember. Yeah, I remember the scene. I remember getting fucked. I remember just like saying, "No, I can't not anymore. Sorry."
I read something about, because every time I was getting too drunk, I was just my memory was just cut off.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, did I get so drunk? And everybody was telling me like I was okay, like I was talking normally. And there is this part of the brain who, like, everybody has a little different. And if you get too much of alcohol, it just shut off and you don't remember.
Could be.
And it doesn't matter if you are too fucked up or you're okay, you just don't remember.
Okay. In my case, it doesn't happen that much. Like I tend to remember.
Of course, if you are drinking like wine and you're drinking easy, that's yeah.
I tend to drink like that, but it's yeah, you guys are crazy with the drinking.
It's changing slowly,
It's
but
like-
it's changing.
I think our way, it's better
I would say also.
in the sense like it's more healthy. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's more healthy because like we drink a lot. You know, like the amount of alcohol we drink is like very high.
I wouldn't say it's healthier. I would say it's more pleasant.
It's much more pleasant
Because
like,
you with vodka you have like 2 hours of like a lot of excitement and you are everywhere, but then it's done.
then it's done.
With wine you're just drinking, you're good. I mean apple juice, of course.
Sure.
You're just good, having good time.
Yeah, exactly, and it's pleasant. It's pleasant.
Yeah.
It's pleasant. It's nice. It's just like we drink. In the South, we drink for the pleasure to drink, for the pleasure of the drink itself. Like, you know, like this wine or this other wine or like this. And that is like the perfect wine for every occasion, depending on the outside temperature. Also imagine, like, this is what you say goes with the weather. It's like 35 degrees outside. You're not gonna drink shots of vodka. You're just not gonna do that. Doesn't make any sense. You're gonna die. Because like you're gonna burn inside.
Yes,
You're gonna just like freaking die. So you need something
Like
fresh.
people in Poland do that, but I'm not sure it's the best idea.
It's not the best idea. Like, but
Cold beer is like
certo.
cold beer is the best.
Cold beer, some nice white wine. We also have this, especially in Catalonia, in my region, there is this called cava. Cava is like champagne, but not champagne.
Cava?
Cava, it's called like that. Like it's a brand they gave it. It's a really bad name, but it's champagne. And it's like, for you to understand, like it's like sparkling wine, and it's very high quality. It's like after the French champagne, it's one of the best, if not the best I tried all around the world. And I'm not being nationalistic, right? So I know how to. I'm not this kind of guy like, no, my country is the best. No, that's like no. I am a very.
Of course, you are not like this. You don't live in your country.
That's hard, my fuck it.
You
No,
are not. Yeah.
it's like, but I know how to, like when somebody does something like really good, you know.
So let's talk about why you don't live in your country.
Oh, Spain. That's very interesting.
There is probably few
There's a few reasons.
Yeah.
There's a few reasons. Like, we decided, and I say we because for the last 4 years, I was just like dating a girl. We were together, and like everything that happened together. So it's like it's saying we, And so during COVID, her and I, we didn't get the vaccine, COVID vaccine. We said like, we're not going to take that
Oh
shit.
my God.
Like, no way. It's like, that's not gonna happen. So we suffered a lot. It was hard. Although Spain was not the hardest countries, because like people got vaccinated like boom, 90%, 95. So the ones that we did not, it was just like, it's pretty chill. But it was just like 2 years of like no restaurants, no traveling, no bars, no nothing. You know, it was just like, you know.
But why didn't you just print the vaccine?
The QR code, we couldn't do it.
Like, because what was it called? Like
It was the QR code.
vaccine passport?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you had different thing I think in Poland it was just you could just do it.
In Spain was a QR code issued by the government. You could not fake it. I tried, and it's just like
I heard some people were just like were asking doctors to just put the vaccine somewhere else, like and they would give the passport.
Now I did some research to get the passport or whatever. So that was pretty hard, right?
Mm-hmm,
So that was pretty hard, and like I lost my job, and I had to leave. So I was living in a very nice apartment in the center of Gracia. Gracia is like the trendy area in Barcelona, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit alternative, like very nice. So I had a very nice apartment. So I had to leave the apartment because I was left with no money. There was some help, like financial help, but my company did some shit. So I was left with like zero income for months. And so I had to leave my apartment. Thanks God, my mom had a spare apartment that I could use. She was like, yeah, you can go there. I was like, okay. And I went there, like save rent, was good. Mm-hmm. Much bigger apartment, very nice. And
spare apartment, it's like
yeah.
I love it, spare apartment.
Yeah, she had.
It's good to have.
It's good to have. Yeah. No, my family, like financially, they're very good. Yeah. They're very good, so it's like it's no problem at all. Yeah. So especially my mom's like, whatever, anyways. And so yeah, she had this spare apartment. It was like, yeah, you can use it. It was like, yeah, pretty cool. So I moved there, and it was just like, I don't know. I felt, honestly, like I felt betrayed by my country, and I felt betrayed by my people. You know, like the amount of pressure the non-vaccinated had to suffer, it was insane. Like friends, we had problems, like at work. Thanks God, my family was like, everybody was just like, you know, like thinking like, no, this is shit. Yeah. So my mom was good. My father didn't take. My sister didn't take. I didn't take. My girlfriend didn't take. The sister of the girlfriend didn't take. The family of the girlfriend didn't take. So it was
I will tell you what I did, and that's so fucking stupid that you can't even imagine.
You took the fucking shot. Anyway.
I was like, I'm not going to get vaccinated. Mm-hmm. And then because I had like this grocery store, this Carrefour.
Yeah.
And they did a conference. Yeah. And to go to conference, you had to have this shot. So I went and I took a shot, and I took Johnson & Johnson, the worst one, because it was faster, because it was one, not two. And
I mean, they were.
I was immediately sick.
Of course, it was designed to. Anyway, we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna turn down the video, but yeah. So that was the thing. So after 2 years, so I spent 2 years. Then when things relaxed, I found another job, and everything. But I was really mad at my country, right? And I was just like, I am not going to forgive that. Never again. Like, never, that's not gonna happen. So I started to develop, like, I was very angry. And I said, you know what? Fuck it, let's go.
But it wasn't only, I'm pretty sure it wasn't only just out of spite. It was like, you wanted to have something else. You traveled at that time, like before you traveled. So you knew that you don't have to be in this place, right?
It was a combination of things. Like the first thing was like, we got really tired. Me and my girlfriend, we got really tired of the atmosphere, of the COVID restrictions, of everything had to happen. Like my group of friends completely blew up because of the vaccines, the COVID, the disagreements, blah, 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 a lot of shit. So it was a pretty hard time. And at the same time, it was a combination of things. Like this was one leg of the thing. And the other was, I wanted to quit my job because I was tired about the corporate world. And I said, I want to become a professional trader. I want to be a day trader. And I'm tired of like the corporate world. I'm tired of working for a company. I am tired of Spain. I am tired of everybody. And I said to my girlfriend, hey, what if we both quit our jobs? Because she was tired too of the job. What if we quit your jobs? We go to Asia, Southeast Asia. I'm gonna take care of everything financially because I had like savings enough to live like years. So like I'm gonna pay everything, don't worry. We'll go to Asia and I'm gonna learn how to trade. And you just like do nothing. She was like, yeah, okay, good.
That's pretty good offer.
That was pretty good, yeah. She's like, yeah, okay, I'm happy not to do nothing. It's like, so we moved, like, first we went to Greece, and then we went to Cyprus, and then from Cyprus we went to Thailand, and then from Thailand we went to Vietnam. And so that's how everything started, right? And from that point, so like, I want to be
how old were you at the time?
that was like 2022, that was like 3 years ago.
Okay.
So 30, a lot.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going back to corporate world. I want to become a professional day trader, and I'm going to study that. So I went to Asia, like studying day trading, boom, 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 boom. And because of that, because like day trade, it takes a long time to learn. Like it's a skill set that it takes years to master. But once you get it, it's a fucking ATM, right? So then I started to look at the international because I said, I'm not going to pay taxes. Like, just not going to do that. I'm moving out from Spain because what you did to me, it's unacceptable.
Tell me about taxes in Spain.
Taxes in Spain is like you pay 54%. Like it's in brackets, but in general, it's like you have to pay like more than 50% of what you earn, what you do. You have to give it to the government.
From what I read, if you earn more than 60,000 euro,
yeah, then it's 54.
45.
It depends on the comunidad autónoma, depends on the region. So we have like the government tax, and then every region applies a different tax. The region where I live is one of
but it's personal tax. So if you have like company or another tax plus VAT and
Certo.
Jesus fucking Christ! Like when I heard this,
now it's completely crazy. So
45%.
No, it's more. It's 54 income tax.
Let's say 54. Yeah. So
It's
that's
It's 50. It's 50%.
crazy. That's fucking crazy.
So everything added up. Like COVID, getting tired of like Spain, like saying I will never forgive you guys, and I will never contribute again to pay my taxes, so you can buy a fucking vaccine and use it against me. This is not gonna happen.
No, let's not.
But that was my rational thinking at the point.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna pay taxes because I don't want my money to do something that is against me. Like my taxes should be to do something in my favor.
But still, like,
you know what I mean?
It doesn't matter. Like even, like, there is no point in government taking 50% of your money. That's like you are working hard. You are educating yourself. You are learning, and then somebody just takes your money.
Yeah.
And you are not like, if you would be like fucking crazy rich, then like arguments are different. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but arguments are different. But if you are a normal person who earns like normal money, like 50%, that's
I mean, Spain is
absolutely crazy.
The tax system in Spain is designed nowadays. It's designed for you to survive.
Yes.
It's designed for that. Like the whole structure, it's designed that way.
Yes.
So there is no way to develop, and so everything evolved. That was my rational thinking at the time, 2022. So I started to learn about international tax, how to do it, how to blah 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 blah. And when because day trading learning, it took long. Like now it's starting to get results. Now after 4 years of work, now it's starting to pay off.
But still, you are not like live. You are just still on the.
But I'm seeing
training, right?
Yeah, I am seeing
But
consistency.
you can see that it's going
really
in the
well.
good direction.
It's like, yeah, in the few last months, like my training is like skyrocketed, and I can say it. I'm gonna go live like soon.
And what's is like pulling you into trading? Why did you choose trading? Because at daily you are working with something else. We will talk about this in a moment.
Yeah.
But what is about trading?
I mean, trading. I mean, I started investing in the stock market at a very young age. That's from the family. Like my grandfather was already investing in the stock market, and my mom invested in the stock market. My sister too. So the first thing
That's amazing.
I did when I turned 18 was like open an investing bank account and started investing. So I made a shit ton of money in investing, and like I was working as a, like sales director of a company, and it was like making a decent amount, and I was investing that every month, and like compound interest, like, risky, boom.
What did you invest in? So like some
Renta variable, it's SP 500, Nasdaq.
Okay.
Like very easy, very simple. Yeah. So, but compounding interest, boom. I did some crypto too, and then like a certain point of my life, I discovered trading and discovered that there was a thing called a chart of a price. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. When I saw like a price chart, I was like, I want to learn that shit. You're telling me that if you buy here and you sell here, you're making money, and I did pretty well in investing without seeing a chart in my life. I want to learn that shit. I was in love with the charts. It was just like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. It's like, I want to learn how this shit works. And I started, and also because of the freedom. Like, you think about
just working for yourself.
You're working for yourself, and also the most important thing, you're working for yourself, and you don't depend on anybody.
The hard part is you have to see the patterns. Like you need to be like, as you said, like you're educating yourself, you're learning for 4 years. Yeah, and it's it's a long process.
Now after 4 years, I can say that I am there already.
I have my fingers crossed for you.
It's like, no, it's good. Like since December, I have been trading the same strategy since December. Yes, it's demo, okay, but I have a 75% win rate. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, 75%. Like if you would have like 55%, it's very good.
Yeah. So I'm very
but
confident.
75 is like really great.
No, I'm very confident. It's like it's going very well, but it took time. Like now it's a matter. I have to just like take the decision. I have to talk with like next month or in 1 or 2 months. Like just I don't have a rush to start making money in trading, but trading is it's the ultimate glitch because.
Do you have deadline?
No, but I mean, like by June I want to be making money for trading, like mentally, like by June before summer, I want to start making money from trading. And making money could be like, I don't want to be a millionaire in 6 months. Like I can make.
But do you have anything that needs to change in you to start to go live?
It's just about self-confidence with the process, like, and also like January, February, March. Usually, typically are bad months where things range, and then in April things start to move like nicely. Okay. So it's always nicer and much more easy to trade a market that is trending than the market that is ranging. And Nasdaq, which is what I trade, it's been ranging since like November. It's been there, and then now it dropped, boom.
What's the difference between trending and ranging?
Trending is when you have the market goes in a direction that is very clear,
yeah.
Right? So it's in an uptrend for a bullish market, and it's in a downtrend for a bearish market.
Okay.
So it's very easy, like it's going fucking up.
And ranging is just up and down, like
up and down in a range, like Bitcoin that has been ranging for 6 months, there, 100K, 90K, 100K, 90K. Yeah, it sucks.
It's fucking terrible.
It's terrible because like to trade that is very hard because like you have no idea where the price is going. And if you have no idea where the price is going, then your chances, like the strategy has to be adjusted. So, but
okay. So we are. I think we covered trading. Let's talk about what you are doing right now, because it's also very interesting.
Like it's like
you're a very interesting guy.
No, it's So it's language trading. It's not language trading, but because trading was taking too long, and I was just like spending a lot of money, a lot of my savings. It's like I have to find a job. But I hate corporate. I hate companies. I hate to have a boss tell me what I have to do. So I just like LinkedIn, and I found a job in AI, which is very interesting. And it's everything online. You know, like I have my projects. I don't have to report to anybody. I don't have a boss. I work whenever I want, from wherever I want, as many hours as at 0 hours. I can do what I want. Just like it's the ultimate freedom as a job, and it's a job on. So the company I'm working for, they produce or they design LLM models like ChatGPT, and so these models are trained, and then you have to check that these models work correctly, right? And you have to train them. So the model, you train them with information, but before being released, you have to train them to interact with the people, right? So the models also learn by interacting with the people. So I am in a team that it's doing that. We interact, there's different projects that have been different projects. I cannot really explain in detail because I have signed an NDA, but like to have an overview, different projects on checking them. It's like you ask the model, what is the capital of Paris? If the model tells you that it's Berlin, well, there's a problem, right? So it should say.
So we were testing, like.
We were testing, so we were evaluating, is it good, is it bad, like is the responses are safe? Like how I make a bomb, sorry, I cannot tell you, right?
That's the problem. There should be instructions for bombs.
Yeah. So there's like safety guidelines, truthful, like is it true what you're saying or not? Is it following instructions? Like is the model doing what the user wants the model to do or not? And then it's interacting with the model and just like training the model to interact with us before being released to the public. And there's a new project now that started to work on a project that is like voice commands, very interesting. It's like, you know, like voice, hey, give me a recipe of tortilla de patatas. And then the model tells you that shit. So we started to work on that.
And what do you think about AI right now?
Well, I always told you, like, I think there's a lot of marketing, a lot. So
Do you use it every day? Like,
of course, just like nonstop. Yeah, it's like I work with it.
No. I mean, not with work. Like, do you use it like?
Certo. But because I am aware of how it works, I tend not to trust it. So because I see how many mistakes the models do, because that's what I'm working on, and it happened to me with with Gemini, that just like gives the wrong information.
No, like Gemini is shit.
Anyway.
Like I tested, like I had a few different models. Like I had ChatGPT, Grok. I tested also Gemini. I tested what was the Chinese one?
DeepSeek.
DeepSeek, yes. DeepSeeker one. I also tested that. And Gemini is shit. Like when I'm asking, before I was doing that as everybody else, like Google, you will Google your question, and you would have to search for answer. And now you just put it in Grok, then you put it in ChatGPT, and one of two will give you like the better answer.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It is.
Like you are saving so much time.
No, it's a super powerful tool. For example,
it makes mistakes, of course. Yeah.
It makes mistakes. You have to be aware of like how this shit works, and you have to double check. Like depends on what you're asking for. I also use a lot Copilot because it's very so.
But Copilot is ChatGPT.
It's
ChatGPT because like Microsoft bought part of ChatGPT, and they implemented it. It's the same.
Okay.
Almost the same. Yeah.
It was very good. It's like it's integrated. It's I mean, I work with AI, but I'm not a deep fanatic. Let's say I do that because it goes very well with me, with my character. I can work from whatever. They don't ask questions. Their thing. It's good to be involved, but I'm not a techie guy. You know, like I am more analogic than digital.
Yeah.
If I could live without phone, without communications, I would be like the happiest person. Like the computer, throw it in the bin, I would be the happiest person in the world. But I am an analogy guy. I have always been. I have always been bad with computers. Always.
Really?
Yeah, really bad. And so it's like, it's good to be involved in the movement. It's good to see it from the inside. It's very, very interesting. But I'm not crazy about it, like, it's good. But, so my passion and my thing is trading. That's it. Like,
Okay.
I do that.
That's just to
It's to get some money,
yeah.
like to pay my rent, my expenses, my apple juice,
Of course.
and it pays very well. And again, linking back to the taxes thing, imagine that. So with what I'm making, working for this company full time here in Georgia, amazing life,
Yeah, for those who don't know, in Georgia you can open individual entrepreneur, and you will pay 1% of your income.
Yeah.
The most you can earn in a year is like
$168,000.
yeah 160.
$168,000.
Yeah. And you just pay 1%, and that's it.
And you pay nothing. Like basically, like everything is for you.
Yeah.
So with what I'm making, which is like decent, I would say. Here I have a very good apartment in a very nice area of the city. Go out for dinner, like 3-4 times a week. I don't look at prices. I don't give a shit. I just go and buy, boom. I don't care. And I'm saving money every month.
Let's wait until war in Russia, in Ukraine will end, and
The
prices will go down.
Will go down for sure.
Yeah.
But with the same income, if I was living in Barcelona, I should live with my mom. Could not even rent an apartment.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So that's also another reason why I came here, because here, like the lifestyle that I have.
How much would it be for like apartment like yours, like 2 bedrooms?
I'm gonna give you different. I have a very good friend of mine. She has a company, like. So to have a lifestyle like I have here in Barcelona, everything together, you have to earn around between 6 and 8K a month.
Euro.
Yeah, definitely. Like netto.
Yeah.
So like the same thing we do.
So it's like around 80,000 a year.
No, without
80,000 netto.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Netto, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if it would be like brutto,
No,
then
half.
it would be half. Just
Exactly. It's like 200K.
Yeah.
200K.
Jesus fucking Christ.
200K invoice, and then something like that. 200K like the turnover, and then you get like 80, and the rest is for the politicians to buy drugs, and yeah. So that's the thing. So that's one of the reasons that I'm here. And
Okay, so let's talk about. I think we will go toward the end. Let's get some more apple juice.
Let's get some more apple juice for the closing.
Thank you very much. So what do you see in the future? Like, we talked a lot about different options.
I don't know.
What are you thinking right now?
Right now.
What's going to be?
I am a little bit confused. I mean, Georgia has a lot of good things and a lot of bad things. So I don't see myself living here in Georgia for the next 5 years.
Why?
Mainly 2 main reasons. One is the climate, really bad. Like,
It's good, but winter is a little.
the winter is bad, and then the summer is gonna be like super hot.
Yeah.
So it's very extreme, and I am not used to that. It's like
In Spain, isn't it
the
like
problem here, like last week was 25, 27, 28 degrees
Yes,
during the day, and then in the night, it's like 7. Like there's like a big thermal difference. And this is how you don't like it, like it's like in Barcelona, it's like much more stable. The maximum and the minimum temperature is much more.
What's the maximum in the summer?
30 something. It's very easy.
Oh,
It's easy going. It's not bad. So the climate very cold, and very cold for a long time. Like we had minus temperatures for months, which is like very tiring for me. I am a sunny boy, you know. That's one thing. The climate, I don't like it. And when it's too hot, and then like this, don't like it either. That's one thing. And second is like the people itself. So, like the Georgians,
They are more closed than people in Spain, for example, right?
Oof, it's like they are. I don't know. They are.
For
harsh.
me, I don't think it's not the main thing. I like when people are very open,
Yeah.
easygoing, but in comparison to Poland, it's similar. Maybe Georgians are a little better.
Okay, fucked. You're fucked in Poland, man.
Yes.
But Polish girls are more beautiful.
Yes.
It gets like high level.
I can say.
So,
No.
like, that's the thing. So that's one thing. Like the people I have been unable to connect with the local culture. I don't like them much, and it's weird because like I lived all around the world, and then it's the first time this happens to me. Never happened to me. So that's one thing, and also, it's like the expat community here. It's not what I was expecting. Maybe I was,
It's pretty small.
it's pretty small.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
But it's
very small.
pretty small. Yeah.
It's very small. So
It's just few bars, like 3 or 4 bars.
exactly. So the expat community is like small, and so I don't know. It's everything also money related. So like now with the amount of money I'm making, Georgia's the best option because of like cost of living and structure.
But look, like even if you would like earn a lot of money, the trading is going well, you are earning a lot of money, you are not going to pay like 50% tax. That
No,
you have to
certo.
be just stupid to pay that much.
No, but then
So yeah, like still like when your eyes are opening for taxes
Certo.
and you see that you can not pay this amount.
I'm not gonna pay taxes
like,
never again in my life.
Even in Poland, like it's 20% personal tax, but still, like 1% is a lot better.
Certo.
Then you are not going to pay like this amount. Like so you need to find something.
Yes, but when you earn more, so I'm not gonna pay taxes again. Like it's not gonna happen. But I don't wanna like reduce my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right. So for me to move somewhere else, I need to double or triple my income, and I have to do that through trading. Like that's clear. And then when I make more money, I can consider Cyprus. I can consider El Salvador. I can consider Costa Rica, Panama. There's a lot of this.
El Salvador is a lot like Georgia, right? In expenses.
But if I go to El Salvador, I'm going to rent like a
But
fuck
it's
you.
a lot.
I'm gonna rent a villa in front of the sea with a swimming pool. I'm not gonna go to El Salvador to rent an apartment in San Salvador of 7 square meters. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
So if I go to El Salvador, it's like to have a high-end lifestyle over there, which means a big house with a swimming pool in front of the sea, which is gonna cost me between $2,000 and $3,000 a month.
No, I think in El Salvador it will be more like
Damn.
1,500.
But let's make it 2,000.
Yeah.
Let's make it 2,000. So like
So what's the most probable situation right now? You are living here another few months, right?
yeah, certo, that's for sure.
Then you're going to Spain.
Then I'm going to Spain for the summer.
What about winter?
Winter. It will
You know, or you?
I
you
have
are
no
just-
idea. I
you
have no idea. It will depend also like a lot on trading. Like if I go live soon and start to see good results, then I might make a move. If I don't see shit, then I'm complete disaster live, I'll stay here.
Then come back.
Then come back here.
Yeah.
But it's like, I wouldn't mind. I don't know.
Okay. So the last question. What
out.
is life about for you?
What is life about for me? That's a nice question. What is life about? For me, it's about building good memories and building good connections with good people. That's the most important thing for me. It's the
Experience.
Because what is the target? If you have a shit ton of money and you don't have anybody to share that with, like a cat so fine goes to chat. Capito?
You wasted a lot of time.
Exactly. So build experiences, like experiences and people to have these experiences with. That's what life is about. And the experiences can be anything. Can be travel, can be go for a glass of wine, can be sharing barbecue together in your house, going to the beach, chatting online with your friend, like, hey, how are you doing? It can be anything. But something that is memorable, something that when you are 80 years old. So at the end, the only person, and think about that, it's very interesting. The only person you will have to justify your actions, it's not your father, it's not your mother, it's not your girlfriend, it's not your wife, it's not your kids, it's your older you. It's the only person you have
like
to justify.
80-year-old you.
Exactly.
I heard this framework before. I love it.
But it's like that. So when you're 80 years old,
if you have a problem, I heard that you should do it. Like if you have a problem you don't know how to solve, you should ask your 80-year-old self about what he would do.
exactly,
And then you have
the answer.
That's it.
That's what life is about for me. Building experiences and building good connections with people to get these experiences with.
Thank you, John.
Thank you for having me.
I think it was a good conversation.
It was very nice.
Thank you.
Esa.